Today has marked the end of an inquiry that has heard how a catalogue of failings led to thousands of people becoming infected by blood contaminated with HIV and hepatitis C during treatment on the NHS.
In the years that the infected blood inquiry's been running, more than 500 victims of the scandal have died. In a moment, we'll hear from Ros Cooper from Kidderminster, who contracted hepatitis C as a child. And then we'll hear from our political correspondent, Phil Hornby. But first, here's a reminder of some of the personal stories that have been heard from people in the Midlands.
This is the first time we've had a full-scale UK-wide statutory inquiry into this, and I think with so many deaths potentially on the hands of pharmaceutical companies and government, it's high time it happened.
I think I've sort of lived my life since Andrew died, that I've sort of compartmentalised it, and I've just got on with things, because I was always frightened that if I thought about it too much, the floodgates would open, and I've never shut them.
In my 20s, I was planning my funeral, decided what music I was going to have, and thought it'd be a lovely day for everybody. But I didn't die, and I'm still here, and I'm still going, and it's kind of, what I don't have at the moment is a future. I've never allowed myself to think about the future because I expect that I won't have one.
I think that for my children, they're also going to be very relieved that the mum's taken care of. But it means nothing to them, the money. There is nothing that could compensate for the loss of their father. And of nothing.
When all the press came out about Roy, they actually had to hide him in hotels because you felt as if though you had people with nooses ready to lynch us all.
Well, we heard there briefly from Ros Cooper, and Ros joins us now. Thank you for joining us. Ros, what impact has having that contaminated blood had on your life?
It's something that from the moment I found out about it when I was 19, my life hasn't been my own. It's just been something it's sort of landed on me like a shroud when I was obviously just starting out on my life and looking to a future, going to university, that sort of thing. And then all of a sudden I had hepatitis C. I had no idea how long I was going to live, had no idea how long I was going to stay well. And it's basically been with me ever since, and I feel like it's impacted every single aspect of my life. It's impacted my ability to work, which was taken away after I did my absolute best to be able to work and be a productive member of society. I had to stop that because I wasn't physically capable of doing it. It's impacted my ability to have children. I wasn't able to have children. I've not long separated from my husband, and I believe that the virus and my health and the mental health aspects are a big part of that. So it's always there. It's always something that's been part of my life in terms of limiting my life.
Certainly been through a very tough time that you've described there. But you were one of those who campaigned tirelessly to get this inquiry. And of course, it's gone on for 5 years. And it was back in 2019 that you gave evidence. How was that for you? And how has this ongoing inquiry been for you? Has it been a positive, or has it taken a toll with the constant reminders?
That's a good question. It's twofold, really. The actual fact of having an inquiry, a full public inquiry that's independent, has been amazing. The people who have run the inquiry, the team who are the legal team and the support team of the inquiry have been fantastic. So Brian Langstaff, I think, has really taken the bit between his teeth and done an incredible job. And we feel finally, as a group of people who've been impacted hugely by this, validated. We feel like our fight, for many of us, for most of our lives, has been proven to be worthwhile, that everything we've been saying has been true, that we haven't just been banging our heads against a wall. We have actually finally got somewhere towards getting the truth and potentially justice. But in that process, it has also been incredibly difficult. Giving evidence with my mum was one of the hardest days of my life, but it was really important to both of us that we did that. Preparation for that was really, really difficult. I've had to dip in and out of the inquiry because it's had such a negative impact on my mental health, just reliving it all, hearing everybody else's stories, which are just horrific. And at the same time, being part of this incredible family of people who've been through this tragedy together, and we're still like holding one another up as we keep going to see what the outcome will be.
Well, Ros, thank you for speaking to us so openly about what the inquiry has meant to you, and we hope that the outcome is what you want it to be. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Well, let's turn to our political correspondent, Phil Hornby. Phil, what happens now that the evidence has concluded?
Well, the families and the victims have got another wait. They're well used to waiting. Of course, they've waited for decades. They're probably now going to have to wait until the autumn for this report to be published. There has been more talk today about compensation. Unusually, during this inquiry, the chair said that 4,000 of the families should get £100,000 of interim compensation. And the chair was saying today there should be more compensation payments very soon.
I want to tell you that I have written to the Paymaster General to inform him of my intention to make a further interim report about the framework for compensation. I anticipate that I'll be in a position to do so before Easter, if not earlier.
But as we've already heard tonight, this isn't just about compensation. This is about the families and the victims finding out why this happened. Could it have been avoided? Should it have been avoided? Has there been a cover-up along the way? They want the truth. They want what they see as justice. And interestingly, Andy Burnham, who is the Mayor of Manchester now, but who was a health secretary during this saga, has suggested there could even be a criminal prosecution for corporate manslaughter. So today's an important day, but this saga is far from over.
Phil, thank you very much indeed.